All right, another Mission Impossible movie. Are these films getting better and better or worse and worse? Let's talk about it. My name is Brandon Keith Avery, and this is just my opinion. Hey, what's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Just My Opinion for my Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 movie review. And if this is your first time finding me and you happen to like the video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Man, how many movies are they going to make in this franchise? I would keep making them too, because they keep making money. It would be silly for them not to. Now, this is being directed by Mr. Christopher McQuarrie. If we scroll down and look at his filmography, this man has been part of a number of great things as a writer, producer, director. Top Gun Maverick, we all know how great that was. Even in producing, he was a part of that film as well. But if we go down to directing, he did The Way of the Gun in 2000, Jack Reacher in 2012, and he has taken over the Mission Impossible franchise since 2015 with Rogue Nation, Fallout, and now Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, this is the 7th film in the franchise, and I am so proud of my collection. I got it right here, baby. I got it right here. You know I got to bring out the collection. I got Mission Impossible 1 right there on DVD. Yes, DVD. Ain't no Blu-ray, ain't no 4K. We got DVD right here. We have Mission Impossible Part 2. Yes. And guys, I may be the only one on the planet that likes this movie. Everybody says this movie sucks and it's trash and the music sucks and that the stupid birds at the end and all the John Woo. I like the movie, and I rewatched it a number of years ago, and it still held up to me. You know, I like this movie. I'm infected with chimera. You know, I like this movie. So again, I don't know what all the hate is about, but that's just me. And then we got Mission Impossible 3. Some say that this one actually saved the franchise, and this was my favorite for a long time. But then we have Ghost Protocol. Man, I remember after seeing this, I was like, man, yeah, this is the best Mission Impossible right here with Ghost Protocol. Got that right there. And then we have the first one with Christopher McQuarrie with Rogue Nation. Now, I really did enjoy Rogue Nation. I thought it was great, but I gotta be honest, I did like Protocol more. And then we also got Mission Impossible Fallout with Henry Cavill. Man, that fight in the bathroom when old dude cocked his arms back like they were guns or something, this was good. This was good. I think right now, you know, not considering Dead Reckoning Part 1, I think this one and then Protocol is my favorite. And then maybe Part 3 is coming in at a distant second or third, or how I lost count. But yes, I got the whole collection right here. So let's see where Dead Reckoning lies in. My expectations for this was pretty high. I know there's a ton of delays and pushbacks and all of that, and Tom Cruise is crazy with all these stunts. I mean, he tries to top himself every time, and of course, we're going to be talking about that in this review. But before I do all that, before I get into all the nitty-gritty, before I talk about all my likes and dislikes, let me tell you exactly what this film, Dead Reckoning Part 1, Mission Impossible, is all about. Ethan Hunt and his IMF team must track down a dangerous weapon before it falls into the wrong hands. I think that's like the plot of every movie, but hey, who's counting? All right, guys, first thing we got to talk about is the runtime. This movie comes in at a whopping 2 hours and 43 minutes. But you know what's great about this film, guys, is it did not feel that way. This breezed by. Like, seriously, at the end of the movie, I was like, whoa, that's it? I kind of felt like we was getting to the end of the movie anyway with the way the plot and the story was flowing and carrying out. But I said to myself, that is the fastest 2 hours and 43 minutes that I've ever experienced in my life in a theater. I was thoroughly impressed with the pacing in this film and how things progressed from beginning to end without any horrible pauses, dead air, dull dialogue. None of that was present in this film, and it flowed from beginning to end. The next thing that I really did like or loved about this film is the way they hyped up the level of the threat in AI. That is something that has been floating around the internet, the interwebs, as of late as AI and the more advanced technology and Skynet and all that. And this film takes full advantage of that. And it makes it seem like a realistic threat that could put the planet in peril one day if things are not handled the way they're supposed to. So I like the way they address that as well. And of course, it's a Mission Impossible film, guys. This movie needs to be suspenseful. It needs to have some mysterious adventure element to it as well. And they did a great job of that, especially in the first act of this film. I was at the edge of my seat like, oh my goodness gracious, where's the threat? I don't see them. I can't find them. Are they over my shoulder? I'm nervous. I do not know what's going to happen. So they did a really great job there as well. Now about the cast, of course, we have the main ones coming back with Tom Cruise, Ving Rhames, and Simon Pegg. I love Ving Rhames and everything he does, and Tom Cruise is great too. And when it comes to Simon Pegg, I am a fan of his work. And I will say, I think in part 3, he was not in the field. He was in the office behind the computer, but part 4 was when he was in the field. Initially, I was turned off by that because he is more of a comedic character. And me, I've said this some time when it comes to the Marvel's universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't like jokes and silly moments during serious moments. But in the Mission Impossible franchise with Simon Pegg, he is able to pull that off to a T. I loved him coming through, not just being behind the computer, but in the field working with Tom Cruise as well. He does it in this film too, and it is hilarious and serious at the same time. I don't know, it's just something about Simon Pegg and his nature as an actor to where he's able to pull that off more than others, but he did a great job there. I did like him, seeing him in the field, trying to work with Ving Rhames and Tom Cruise. Ethan, I thought that was great, and I want to see him come back more and more and more. That is if he lived in this film or not. Of course, I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to see it yourself. But on top of Simon Pegg being great, so is Ving Rhames. I mean, he's just still cool, calm and collected, minding his own business. I like him. It's just something about him. I like Ving Rhames. And of course, you can't lose with Tom Cruise, with Ethan Hunt. I mean, the guy is, and what I like about this film is it kind of took a page out of the John Wick franchise, even though Mission Impossible was here much earlier than John Wick. John Wick is known as the Baba Yaga, and he's like a threat. Okay, this is John Wick. He's a devil. He's an angel. He's a combination of both. You cannot kill him. If you do kill him, you need to kill him again, chop up his body, and mail each part to a different state in the country. He will not die. They gave the same type of tender love and care to Ethan Hunt's character in this film, and I thought that elevated him even more than we already knew his character. Like, this is Ethan Hunt. He's dangerous. He's unpredictable. He's stealthy. The man will get away. Do not feel that you have killed Ethan Hunt until you have shoved a stake in his heart and watched his last breath as it fades from his body. I mean, that is the level of respect that they're giving Ethan Hunt in this movie, and it does raise the stakes. Like, man, what's wrong with Ethan? Why does he always go rogue? I thought I knew this character, but if these people are feeling this way, maybe I need to do my homework and figure out what's really going on. And so I really did like the way they hyped that up in the thread. It tied in with the AI technology. All of that was dang near flawless. Even the car chases in this film, they dialed it back, but still was able to provide a level of intensity that will satisfy you if you are a fan of this franchise. And what I mean is they could have easily got another souped up car or souped up bike and have Ethan Hunt weaving in and out of traffic to create suspense and danger. And they did that in this film, but they gave him a handicap with him having to take another character along with him. But it's not a souped up car. It's not a super bike. This is the worst car imaginable that you will want to drive in when you're trying to get away from bad guys that want to chop your head off. It was very entertaining seeing them flip that aspect of the action on his head like that. And it still made it very, very entertaining. Not just because it was funny, but it was just still intense. There are still cars that are blowing up and flipping over each other. And there's just so much damage that it really still is entertaining. And then when you add in there the way that the film was shot with the director and the camera movements, it really does get into that nitty gritty, and you're feeling like you're weaving in and out with the traffic as well. And not just that, it's not all close-ups. Sometimes when the camera's pulled back and it's a nice wide shot, it's just nice to see what they've able to craft together with their choreography in these car chase scenes, these dog chases. I liked it all. It was really clever. I also love the aspect of these films is you don't know who you can trust. Everybody will stab you in the back. And that also does add a level of mystery to it as well. And we got to talk about the stunts, guys. This man riding a motorcycle off of a cliff, off of a mountain, person parachuting down onto a train, that is crazy right there, but it's so entertaining, and I'm glad that they give so much attention to detail. And there's also a scene towards the end of the movie to where they're trying to escape this train from crashing, and just their mechanics, the way they had to maneuver from point A to point B to survive. I cannot wait to buy this movie so I can look at all the special features and behind the scenes to see how they put this together, because I was watching this asking myself, like, damn, how in the world did they do this? I'm pretty sure that some of it is very difficult and intricate, but also I'm pretty sure a number of things, some elements are very simple and they're just using a bunch of Hollywood camera tricks, but I want to see it because I am that drawn in and entertained. It is great. You can think that with the 7th Mission Impossible film that they can't bring you anything new, but rest assured they're able to do that. They're always able to give you something fresh in these movies, and that's why I love it. We also got to talk about the music, the score, the soundtrack by Lamont. Great job. That heightens everything up to the next level, a level that you didn't even think this film could reach. If it was a 10, if it's 11. If it's 11, it's at 15. The music is great in this film as well. But guys, that is going to conclude everything that I did like about this film. Now let me transition to some things over that really did not work for me. I spoke at the very beginning of this review of how they hyped up the level of threat, the suspense and mystery all behind the AI technology. However, towards the end of the film, I was kind of saying to myself, okay, is this overhyped? Y'all said that this can do this and do that, but nobody even knows what the threat really is. It feels like everybody is chasing a phantom, and that's quite annoying when you're chasing something, trying to find some type of MacGuffin, and you don't even know what it is or what it does. That just kind of takes the stakes away from me. It put a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, wait a minute, you hyped this up, but it's not as good as what you promised. It's still good, but not as good. And also, I gotta say, guys, a lot of the film felt pointless in the second half. Like, you have these characters that are meeting up. Some of them are new, some of them are from past films, and they're doing their dialogue, and there's a dick measuring contest and who can be clever here and outsmart the other person and come up with the quippiest line, etc. But after the scene ended, I said to myself, what was the point of this whole scene? What was the point of the dialogue? What were you trying to accomplish? Now, I will need to see this movie again, and I want to, because they do throw a lot at you. I can't wait to watch it home, and I can just rewind and be like, wait, what's going on there? Does this make sense? But that did not happen like once. It happened like 3 times. And some of the fighting, when it comes down to it, when it's hand-to-hand or swords or a knife or something like that, I'm saying to myself, yes, I do respect a one-on-one fair fight. But given the situation that these characters are in, they're wasting so much time and energy. You could have got your goal accomplished if you just had a little pistol on you and you wanted to shoot this person, especially in such a narrow corridor. But you want to just have all these flashy fight scenes and choreography, and it looks nice, it's cool, but it's pointless. It's like, it's too many times in this movie to where I was like, okay, this made no sense. This was pointless. You could have got your goal accomplished, but you wanted to be extra, and now look, you're losing, and you done lost this whole thing that you've been chasing for the past 2 weeks. This is dumb. And guys, this may be a slight spoiler, but there was one antagonist that walked up to a good guy. The good guy is on the ground, suffering, trying to recover from the fall. All you had to do was pull out a gun and shoot him right there, and you would have won. You would have got away. However, instead of doing that, you want to escape and then try to have a fight with this character on top of a train with a knife to where you could die too? Why didn't you just kill him 10 minutes ago? This is crazy. I don't understand. And so I can't give the film a pass when it comes to that. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense. And I'm very, very frustrated. I will say this. I have enjoyed all of the Mission Impossible films. They're all great movies. And each time a new one comes out, it is better than the one before. I like Mission Impossible 1, but I like Part 2 more than Part 1. And I like Part 3 more than Part 2. And I like Part 4 more than Part 3. But I did not like Part 5 more than Part 4. We were going on this trajectory right here. And one of the things I want to say that makes the Mission Impossibles always greater than the last is every time they would change the directors. Part 1, 2, 3, and 4 are completely different directors. Christopher McQuarrie, who's directing this film, he directed Part 5, 6, and 7. And I think that is a mistake in the franchise. I still think that they should have came out with a new director per film, because 4, 5, and 6 have been like this. Part 4 was great. Part 5 was great too, but I like part 4 better. But then I like Fallout more than part 5, which was part 6. But then this last one right here, Dead Reckoning Part 1, that one, man, I don't want to say this is my least favorite. I really have to think about it, but I did not like a lot of things in this film that did not make sense to me and did not add up to where it really just put a bad taste in my mouth. I still enjoyed it and want to see it again, and I definitely will be adding it to my collection, but they missed the mark a number of times when it actually came to the story and what the characters wanted to do. I mean, just accomplish your goal and stop being petty. And the story at times did seem a little overcomplicated, a little convoluted. Again, it may make sense to other people, but I just have to kind of check it out for myself at least one more time to get the full grasp of everything. I will give my rating at the very end, guys, but for now, that is just my opinion, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give me the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And guys, if you do subscribe to the channel, this is what you are going to get. You're going to get movie reviews, spoiler movie reviews, martial arts movie reviews, me covering Warrior Season 3, me covering Secret Invasion on Disney+, series reviews, a weekly movie news roundup show, and a weekly superhero comic book show as well, trailer reactions and interviews as well. Now, if I had to rate Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 out of a 1 out of 10, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I don't know, if I say it again, that may drop down to a 7.5, or it may drop up to, or go up to an 8.5, or it may just stay at an 8. But right now, I feel comfortable at an 8 out of 10. But guys, again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget that my name is Brandon Keith Avery, and that's just my opinion. Peace.